My fascination with whale sharks started at a pretty early age. I remember having a book when I was younger that depicted the diagram of a whale shark and a kid snorkeling next to it. Oh, and also a school bus to show the incredible size of the animal. As I read about the fish being a gentle giant and harmless to humans, it instilled in my mind always a desire to see the animal with my own eyes. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, this video is a passion project of mine, and I hope that you take what you see in this video to heart. The objective is not to steer your opinion about whale shark tourism in the Philippines, but it is to provide you with information. Working alongside the amazing brands that helped put this video together, we want to document the journey to see this magnificent creature in the wild. As this is my first time ever creating a video like this, I hope you all walk away with a newfound appreciation and a sense of education for the butanding. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Donsol here in the Bicol region of the Philippines. Today, we're going swimming with whale sharks. Here in Donsol, you have the ability to pay to rent out a boat to go look for whale sharks. It's about a 3-hour tour, so that's what we're about to do. So in a minute, we're gonna show you guys the process of boarding that boat, and we're gonna head out and actually go see the whale sharks. And because we're searching for wild whale sharks, there is a chance that we're gonna walk out of this without seeing them. That's kind of the beauty behind this. There's no guaranteed sighting. So ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the pals Moshe.
Hi.
Hi Moshe, and Borja. Hi Borja. This has been a big passion project for me and Borja to put this video together. So we're going to head off to the kind of dive center that they lead on these tours, and we'll be checking in and beginning our tour now. Hopefully we're getting onto the boat with just the three of us, because that's what we kind of want. Very private, organized thing. Hello. Good morning. So this is kind of the center where you have to check in. We've been given a pen and paper to write down our information for the Buntanding tour. That's actually how you say whale shark in Filipino. And we're just filling out all our information right now. All right, so we just finished renting our boat. So now you also have to watch an informational video on the whale shark experience before you go in. So we gotta go into this room and watch it.
On the proper procedure for a safe and fruitful interaction.
So the informational video just ended. I just wanted to read you guys off some notes that I took about the video. Some of the rules they have here is that they only have 30 boats maximum in the water. As well, there's only 6 people allowed on a boat to avoid congestion of people in the water. So it's very sought after and looked after that there's not a lot of people in the water getting too close. The rules are we have to keep a distance of 4 meters from the whale sharks at all time. We can't touch or ride them. We can't block their path. There's only 5 minutes allowed per interaction with a whale shark. They honed on the fact that it's a privilege and responsibility, and that you're helping out the local communities here by doing it here the respectful and ethical way. So we are now going to head in the water and hopefully see some whale sharks. Okay, so we're just getting some fins geared up right now so we can get prepared for the water. This is our guide.
Joseph. Morning.
Hi Joseph, how are you? All right, so we've just been assigned our guide. It is important to note from the reports that we've been hearing around the area, nobody's seen him in the last few days because it's been rainy weather, but this is the first sunny day since we arrived here. We've actually been in the Bicol region for quite a few days now. We're just being led out to the beach right now. Seems like there's a pretty big group in front of us, but we're gonna try to get in the water before them. Should have mentioned the time. We're doing this pretty early in the morning. It's like 8 a.m. You start the whole process of the registration and all that at like 7:30. But we're heading off right now to the boats. This will be the beginning of hopefully an epic journey. This is our banca? Awesome. Good morning. So, welcome to the Philippines, an archipelago paradise full of incredible flora and fauna. Across the over 7,000 islands, you can find a countless number of really amazing land and sea-dwelling animals. From monitor lizards to saltwater crocs and the beautiful dolphins and sea turtles, there is one animal that has captivated the heart of many travelers and locals of the Philippines. This animal is the whale shark, also known in Filipino as the butanding. Whale sharks are an absolutely marvelous ocean creature, the largest in fact. Yep, you heard me right, the whale shark is the largest fish in our oceans and seas. There's no wonder why people rush to have an interaction interaction with them. They are truly mind-blowing. Whale sharks can be found in many locations across the globe, anywhere from Mexico to Indonesia, Australia, Africa, and even parts of the Middle East. But one place in the world where whale sharks have become a staple for any visit to the country is the Philippines. To add further context to this video, we thought it would be smart to show you 1. The scale of this country, 2. The different locations where whale sharks are found, 3. The options that you have when it comes to interactions, and 4. The cost of the different locations. So let's begin, shall we? Currently, there are 3 locations in the Philippines with frequent whale shark sightings both in season and out. 2 other locations experience infrequent but growing numbers of whale sharks passing through those areas, giving us 5 potential whale shark sighting locations. It is important to note that whale shark migration patterns are not fully understood by the scientific community, and it is safe to assume that these animals travel vast distances through the oceans, as they've been seen as far north as Taiwan and as far south as Indonesia. The first of the locations we're going to talk about is Honda Bay, near the city of Puerto Princesa on the island of Palawan. The season in this location lasts from April to November, and the tour takes you searching for whale sharks in the waters of Honda Bay. This adventure will run you about 1,800 Filipino pesos or $35 US. Information on the specific tour is hard to find online, and I actually haven't heard about any of this until I started doing research for this video. Moving on, our second location is the island of Bohol. From what I've read, there aren't any formal tour operators there, and sightings are very rare, but they do happen. The locations where I've heard about the most sightings are by the town of Anda. Okay, now that those 2 are out of the way, let's talk about 3 locations where whale sharks are very prevalent: Southern Leyte, Oslob in Cebu, and Donsol in the Bicol region. Southern Leyte seems like the ultimate experience when it comes to seeing a whale shark. Visitors are very scarce, and the location is being used as a serious research center for scientists to study these animals. And actually, when joining a tour in Leyte, there are always scientists there on the boat with you, which can make Leyte the most informational experience of them all. The tour leaves from the town of Padre Burgos, which if you see on the map is very close to the island of Bohol and Cebu. The price of a boat in Leyte is 9,000 Filipino pesos, which is about $175 US, and they will leave with a minimum of 2 people. This is the most expensive but also the most wild option of them all. Next we move to the island of Cebu, the town of Oslob to be exact. This whale shark experience is riddled with controversy and is by far the most popular place to engage with whale shark tourism in the Philippines, and maybe even the world. To briefly touch on it, whale sharks here are fed in order to keep them closer to the beach of the town of Oslo. This tour is about 1,000 Filipino pesos or $20 US, and sightings are guaranteed year-round, no matter the season. The environment has beautiful crystal clear water, but tons of tourists. Numbers of guests are estimated to be in the thousands per day, as tourists both local and foreign line up from the early hours of the morning to paddle out about 60 feet from shore to swim with the giant fish. We won't talk too much about Oslob right now, but it's important to note that this location has been a serious red flag for scientists studying whale sharks. Whale sharks here are frequently seen with cuts and scrapes around their mouths and bodies from over-interaction with people. And lastly, we move on to the town of Donsol in the Bicol region of the island of Luzon, about a 12-hour drive or 1-hour flight from the capital of the Philippines, Manila. Donsol is the place where whale shark tours were born in the Philippines, and they have gotten it right. Besides being a huge help to local communities, which used to rely mostly on fishing, there is now a booming ecotourism industry in this tiny coastal town. Whale sharks are plastered everywhere here, with countless restaurants, dive centers, hotels, and bars having names including the word whale shark or butanding. In Donsol, you have options, quite a few actually. Tours that are government run or privately owned. Our hearts were set with a company called Fundive Asia, led by Bobby, Donsol's first dive master and head of the Whale Shark Association of Donsol. These people knew the spots and were super professional and efficient. The cost for a whale shark experience with Fundive Asia is about 1,500 Filipino pesos or $30 US. And if you want to scuba dive with both whale sharks and manta rays, it'll run you about 4,000 Filipino pesos or $80 US. So now that we've covered all these locations, let's dive back to our first day out on the water searching for the butanding. Thank you, sir. Salamat po. Alright, we have boarded the banca. I love that it's just the 3 of us on here. It is a little more expensive to do it just like us, because if you fill up the boat, it actually gets a lot cheaper. But 3 of us have boarded and ready to go, yeah? Who's ready to see some whale sharks?
Let's do it.
Who's ready to see some whale sharks?
Let's do it.
Who's ready to see some whale sharks?
And the right position is like this. Okay, like this. And when I said go or jump to the water slowly. And please don't touch the water. It will get scared sometimes. But this time we cannot give you 100% assurance.
Of a whale shark?
Yeah, only 50%.
50%. That's good too.
Yesterday we have no sightings, but the other day the sighting is good.
ready to jump in when they say it's time to jump in. We have our spotter up here. He's hanging out at the top. He's looking for whale sharks, and hopefully we'll see something good today. I don't know how well you can hear me right now because of the wind, but we're about an hour in. 0 sights of whale sharks at the moment. I don't think any of the other boats have seen them either. We're staying hopeful, but nothing so far. So we're 2 hours in. Still no signs of a whale shark. Nobody spotted one of the boats that we're on. And getting a little less hopeful, but maybe we'll spot something. All right. Desperate times come for desperate measures. That's not how the saying goes, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna get a drone up in the air, Borja's drone right now, to hopefully help us spot a whale shark. That's what we're hoping for. All right, go. We got 1 hour left. Get us a whale shark, Borja. We're gonna take advantage of this last hour to really aggressively search for him. We're coming up with nothing right now. Borja's up in the air. I'm standing on the front of the ship to hopefully help try spotting a little bit, but these things are very elusive animals, and usually when you see them, it doesn't last for a long time. So hopefully we'll get a little inchling of one. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So that is us departing our bunker in defeat. We saw 0 whale sharks for try number 1. We are going to try this again tomorrow, but this time we're gonna wait for a group to come back so we have at least confirmation that they saw whale sharks. Let's see if we can make this happen. Let's bounce it tomorrow. All right, so it has now actually been a full 2 days since we last spoke. Bright and early in the morning again at 6 a.m. back here on Donsol's beach. Here's the deal. We have learned a lot in the past 2 days all about whale sharks. More things that I could put right now in this bit of the video because we're about to head out and go try to find them again. But the reason that it has been 2 days since we've gone to check is because yesterday there were 0 sightings out here. The only confirmed sightings of whale sharks we've heard about is by an island called Tikau Island. There are tours that leave from here from Donsol. They head out into the waters over there. They leave this bay, but the same community of whale sharks also spreads out all the way over there. And so a group of divers had spotted, if I'm not wrong, 3 whale sharks underwater when they were scuba diving, and then 4 whale sharks at the surface when they went out. And so what we've organized today is a very different approach than what we thought about. Essentially, today's a free ball. We're going to be taking an all-day adventure out to Tikau Island. We're not going to actually set foot on the island, but Borja and Daphne actually flew in last night from Manila. They're going to be scuba diving while Moshe and I are going to be snorkeling. We're going to be hitting up 3 different spots by Tikau Island. One is San Miguel Island, and then 2 of them are called the Mentable. As a heads up, why there's a chance that there aren't any whale sharks right now. From what we're understanding from locals, they don't like the volcano erupting. I don't know if I mentioned this yet in this video, but the Mayon volcano is just behind me over there. You can't see it right now, but it has been erupting for the last month and a half. And animals tend to feel things that humans cannot. Maybe being underwater, something with the tectonic plates or the shaking of the ground, the shaking of the earth has caused disruption in the whale sharks' patterns, but they're not hanging around this area anymore. It's been like 6 or 7 full days now with 0 sightings, and this is supposed to be the beginning of the season for whale sharks. And before the eruption, they were seeing tons of them, for what we've been told. We know they're out there. We know that people have seen them recently. So we're gonna head out there today and let's see what happens. Thank you, sir. All right, guys, we made it to the beach. Good morning. This is our crew for the day.
Morning.
We got Moshe and Borja, and Daphne flew in especially for this. And today we're working with Fun Dive Asia. They are a company out here that does this tour, the scuba diving tour, out to see the manta rays and the whale sharks. And essentially we're partnering up with them. They're gonna be taking us out, and you're gonna be meeting Bobby soon, which is the first dive master in all of Donsol. He is like the OG guy here. He kind of started it up here. And we'll be sitting down with him talking about the whale sharks. He's head of the Whale Shark Association here. In a minute we'll be heading into the water and heading off on this adventure. As our first hour searching passed, the feeling that we wouldn't see a whale shark started to settle in again. The shores of Ticao Island were beautiful and full of life. We saw sea snakes and dolphins and tons of fish. Bobby and his crew did a very good job keeping our morale up and would say before every dive, "Now you search for the whale shark." So the divers jumped in. What's happening right now is that the scuba divers are jumping in the water. They're standing at their site to go see if they can see the whale sharks underwater. That's where Borja and Daphne are going to be. We are going to search for a whale shark. We're actually hearing that they're seeing them right over there.
Let's go down.
That's the dive master. And we are going to hightail it right now to go find some whale sharks. And now it was just the snorkelers. 4 of us and 2 guides. We started our search for the butanding on the surface. I think the beautiful thing about searching for whale sharks is that it makes you appreciate the size of our seas. You'd think the largest fish in our oceans would be easy to spot, but no. We were told to prepare ourselves on the edge of the boat and be ready to jump in at a moment's notice. Suddenly, a fin was seen from afar. Our crew began shuffling and the boat turned in the opposite direction. The 4 of us anxiously waiting to make the plunge. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes, 20, an eternity when you are on the literal edge of your seat. It felt as if our one chance to see this magnificent animal had come and gone, but with a serious glare on our crew's face, we noticed something had changed. Our guides yelled at us to prepare ourselves. We hang off the boat's edge. This was the moment we had been waiting for. Nothing can quite prepare you for the size and scale of a whale shark. I've been on safari and have stood mere feet away from giant African elephants, water buffalo, and even giraffes, but nothing can compare to being in the water with a giant whale shark. This thing was huge. We all watched in amazement as it circled us completely unbothered by our presence, filtering plankton from the surface through its enormous mouth and spilling the excess water through its mammoth-sized gills. This whale shark was so big, its dorsal fin was causing waves to splash over me when it surfaced above the water. It was absolutely unreal to be swimming with the world's largest fish. So we've just arrived back from this whole whale shark experience. Fun Dive Asia absolutely killed it. They have been an amazing sponsor to this video. We finally saw a whale shark, guys. We have a lot of things to talk about, obviously. This video is not over. This thing is a whole research bit in itself, but we are going to call it a day for today. Alrighty, so it's now been 2 2 days since we first saw the whale sharks. I want to say a big thank you to Fun Dive Asia because they were the ones who hosted us on this whale shark tour, and they knew where to go. The guides were really nice. They were really awesome. So I'm really happy with the experience overall. I will say it was very hard to keep up with it because it was super fast. Luckily, it was doing the same route around us. It was just going in circles around us, so you could kind of predict where it was going to go. But keeping up with it was a bit difficult because it swam so fast, and the current was very tough, and the clarity of the water, because the water isn't as clear because there's plankton in it. So one of the coolest things has been learning about how this whale shark is helping local communities here. And so now we're gonna head back to Manila and we're gonna do some more research on this whale shark. Okay, so now that we're back in Manila, it's time to dig into why Oslob has stolen the show when it comes to whale shark tourism. Is it the price? Is it the location? Well, my friend Mimi actually has a first-hand experience from the Whale Shark Center in Oslob, so I thought it would be a good idea to call her up and ask her how things went in Cebu. Mimi! We finally got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've brought you here to ask you a few questions in regarding to the Oslob whale shark experience. First and foremost, first of all, if you could introduce yourself, who you are, what you do.
All right. So my name is Mimi, and I make travel videos, just like the wonderful Tal. But I'm a little bit smaller, but I love to travel and I love to just record videos and share my experiences online.
So, when it comes to the whale shark experience, before we dig in and kind of ask you about it, how did you first hear about the whole, fact that you could go swim with whale sharks in the Philippines and Cebu, specifically in Oslob? How did you hear about it?
Well, I actually heard about it from another travel vlogger, Christian LeBlanc, or Lost LeBlanc is his channel name. And I've been watching his videos for a while, and I see, wow, that sounds really cool, because I have never done anything like this before, and I don't know how to dive, like scuba diving, so I thought that might be a cool, compromise to do, So that is when I first heard about it, and we just took it into our travel plan, my friend and I, and we decided to give it a go.
Okay. So, Mimi, now what I want you to do is I want you to essentially break it down for us, explain to us, it's the day of the whale shark experience, just narrate essentially the story for us of what that day was like.
Okay, so basically they told us the best time to go there is early in the morning, because there aren't a lot of tourists yet and the animals haven't been fed as much, so there will still be a lot of whale sharks around. So they told us we should be there around 5 or 6 a.m. So we did that. We hopped on a tricycle and we went there, and we paid 1,000 Filipino pesos, which is about $19, for the experience itself. And then you have, I don't know if you have to, but I think most of them do it like that you have to enter through a kind of resort. And to walk through that resort, you pay another 100 pesos, which is about $2. And then you get there and they put you in groups. And then they sit you down, they give you a little bit of instruction how to behave around the animals and what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And then they also tell you a little bit about the work that they do, and that there are marine biologists who take care of the animals, and they make sure that everything is safe and that the animals are safe. You wait at the beach because there are so many people. I honestly, that was the first thing that shocked me. When I got there, I saw so many people and boats going in and out and in and out. I was like, how does that even work for the animals, constantly being around so many people? And then we got on the boat, and then they go out maybe, I don't know what it was, maybe 50 meters to the ocean. And then they're constantly feeding the whale sharks. That is how they keep them around, probably. So you see them throwing in food into the water constantly, and there is an incredibly disgusting smell. You get into the water, you basically have half an hour. The weird thing is what they said in the beginning, that you're not allowed to touch the fish, of course, which is totally understandable. But the problem is everything is so close together. There are so many boats and so many people, and then they feed the fish right off the boat. Sometimes I got touched by the whale shark, even though I was trying to get back. You feel kind of like you're in a zoo. And yeah, that's basically it. You get in, you have half an hour, you are surrounded by other tourists and people, and they're just constantly eating. After half an hour, you get on the boat again, you go out, and there are already masses of other tourists coming in with their boats. So yeah, it's not a very nice experience, to be honest. And I must tell you honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. I also told that to my viewers in my vlog, that I wouldn't recommend going there.
If you guys don't know, actually, time to plug this in. Mimi actually made a whole video on this as well. She kind of had a video from the day, so make sure you check that out in the description below. Without obviously fiddling on it too much, would you do this again?
No. No, I would.
You wouldn't do that again?
No, I really wouldn't, because after the whole experience, I felt kind of bad because I wish that I got more information beforehand. Because if I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have gone there, and I wouldn't have invested money in that kind of business.
And you can feel free to deny this if you don't want to say or anything. But do you personally have any change that you would like to see, or if there's a way that you would like this to be done in the future? Is there any input you want to put on that?
The Philippines is an awesome country, and I really, really love the Philippines and the people and everything. It's amazing, but I think it would just be so much better if they, in some areas, would learn to take care of the beautiful place that they have. Because if they keep going the way they do, in some areas, it might not last forever. You know, things can break. Nature, you can destroy nature if you don't treat it well. So I just really hope that they would take better care of the beautiful nature they have, because it really is something unique and so beautiful. And I would hope, I would like to think that it would still be there in 5 years or 10 years, you know.
Mimi, thank you so much. This was fantastic.
You're very welcome.
I very much appreciate this. Thank you so much. After doing extensive research about the whale shark interactions across the Philippines, I think it's relatively easy for me to draw a conclusion as to why Oslob is so popular compared to southern Leyte or Donsol. On a practical level, Leyte is more expensive, so we can kind of push it to the side for now. When it comes to Donsol or Oslob, things get a little fuzzy. When you put the two options side by side, you realize that for one, seeing whale sharks in Donsol is cheaper by a fair bit of money actually. As long as you can load up 6 people on a boat, which shouldn't be too hard to do, seeing whale sharks in Donsol's bay is actually cheaper. If we want to argue location's sake, well, Manila and Donsol are only an hour apart by flight, shorter than flying to Cebu, and there are no shortage of things to do in the Bicol region. So now that price and location are out of the way, what's next? Well, you could argue viral tourism, promotion, etc, etc, but I think what it really comes down to is guarantee. A guarantee that you'll see a whale shark. But nothing in nature is guaranteed, and this video is a testament to that. And if you go to Oslob, sure, 10 times out of 10, you'll see a bunch of whale sharks right off the shore, and it's super easy to do. It'll only cost you about $20. So it's easy for you to get inspired by browsing the internet and seeing countless blogs, vlogs, and Instagram posts showing amazing pictures and videos of people on vacation enjoying the awesome animals. But if we take this thing at face value for what it really is, the animals are getting hurt. And if you go there, have gone there, or are planning on going there, you have contributed to that. The main argument that I've heard from many of my Filipino viewers defending Oslob is that the fishermen there rely on the whale shark tourism for an income. And if that goes away, they'll just start hunting whale sharks. I'm not sure what the exact solution is to protect the animals in Oslob, but I know that our latter option does not need to be to kill them. They don't do that in Donsol, and it doesn't need to happen in Cebu. At the beginning of this video, I told you I don't want to sway your opinion on whale shark tourism in the Philippines, and I don't. But I did want to present to you the information in one clean, concise, and organized package. At this point, I would like for you to draw your own conclusions, and decide what you think about this whole industry. I'd like to take a moment again to say thank you to the amazing brands who supported me on this venture to make this video happen. Sakay Co custom motorcycle tours through the Philippines. This would not have been possible without them. They made this happen. They organized the whole shindig. And as well, the countless footage and pictures I got from Borja and Daphne, who let me use their footage in this documentary. This would not have been possible without you. For Fun Dive Asia, thank you so much for bringing us into the water with this amazing animal. Thank you for knowing where to go, for being super professional and being super helpful through the whole process. For that, we love you so much. We'd like to thank Spivo as well. Spivo Stick, that's the stick I was using, kind of my stick underwater that I can press a button and have it switch everywhere. They have been awesome in supporting this video as well, so we thank you so much for that. Without these awesome companies, this video would not have been possible. I myself am going to continue learning about this amazing animal, and I'd like to do a follow-up on this video someday in the future. For those of you who are avid viewers of mine, I'd like for you to tell me how I did. What did you think of this whole video? Did you like it? Was it not for you? please let me know down below. For you new guys, please subscribe and turn on that notification button so you get notifications for me when my new videos come out. I assure you, I don't think any of my future videos will be like this, at least not for a short while, but hey, give me a shot because I'm a cool guy. Your Filipino word of the day today is butanding, which obviously means whale shark in Filipino. We've covered that about 40 times in this video. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I love you long time, class, and I'll see ya in the next video. Goodbye.